What if I told you that the secret to transforming your home into a sanctuary isn't about buying more storage solutions or following another complicated organizing system? Margaret thought the same thing until she discovered the 3 decluttering secrets that celebrity organizers use in multi-million-dollar homes, secrets that changed everything about how she saw her space and, more importantly, how she felt in it.
By the end of today's story, you'll know exactly how to declutter like the wealthiest homeowners in America. And trust me, it has nothing to do with having more money or bigger closets.
I'm so excited to share this journey with you today. If you're ready to transform your relationship with your belongings and create the peaceful home you deserve, please hit that like button right now. It tells me you're serious about this transformation. And don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell on, because we're building a community of women who refuse to let clutter steal their peace. Now, let me tell you Margaret's story.
Margaret Williams had lived in her suburban home for 37 years. At 72, she was tired, not just physically, but emotionally drained by the weight of possessions that had accumulated over decades. Family heirlooms, children's artwork, holiday decorations, books she'd meant to read, clothes that might come back in style. Sound familiar?
Last spring, Margaret's daughter hired Elena Rodriguez, a celebrity organizer who's worked with Hollywood A-listers and Silicon Valley moguls, to help her mother reclaim her space. What happened next wasn't just about organizing. It was about discovering that the wealthiest people in the world approach their possessions completely differently than the rest of us.
Elena has spent 15 years in homes worth $5, $10, even $50 million. She's organized walk-in closets bigger than most bedrooms and pantries that could stock a small grocery store. But here's what shocked Margaret. The organizing principles that work in a mansion work even better in a regular home.
On that first morning, Elena arrived at Margaret's front door with nothing but a small notebook and a warm smile. No bins, no labels, no organizing gadgets. Margaret was confused. Where were all the solutions she'd seen on TV? "Margaret," Elena said gently, "before we organize anything, I need to understand how you want to feel in your home. My millionaire clients don't start with stuff, they start with emotions." This was Elena's first secret, and it changed everything Margaret thought she knew about decluttering. You see, wealthy homeowners don't organize to have more, they organize to feel more. More peaceful, more intentional, more connected to what truly matters. Elena pulled out her notebook and asked Margaret a question that no organizer had ever asked before. When you walk into your bedroom at the end of the day, what do you want to feel? When you open your kitchen cabinets in the morning, what emotion do you want to experience?
Secret number 1. Margaret paused, tears welling in her eyes. "I want to feel calm, safe, like I'm home, not drowning in my own belongings." Elena smiled and wrote "calm" and "safe" at the top of her notebook. This was secret number 1. Wealthy homeowners design their spaces around desired emotions, not storage solutions. Think about it. When you walk into a luxury hotel or an expensive restaurant, you immediately feel something, right? That's not an accident. Every single item in that space was chosen to create a specific emotional experience. Elena's millionaire clients approach their homes the same way. Elena explained to Margaret that in every $5 million home she'd organized, the owners could tell her exactly how they wanted each room to feel. The master bedroom needed to feel like a retreat. The kitchen needed to feel inspiring and nourishing. The living room needed to feel welcoming but sophisticated. But here's the beautiful part. You don't need millions of dollars to create these feelings. You just need to be intentional about what you keep. Elena taught Margaret the emotional inventory method. For every item they encountered, Margaret asked herself, "Does this help me feel calm and safe,
Or does it work against those feelings? The chipped vase from her ex-husband's mother that she'd always disliked? Gone. It created tension every time she looked at it. The soft, cream-colored throw that made her feel cozy during evening TV? Definitely staying. The stack of magazines from 2019 that made her feel behind and overwhelmed? Released with gratitude. What amazed Margaret was how quickly this process worked. She wasn't agonizing over each decision. She was simply asking whether each item supported her desired emotional state. Elena called this emotional alignment, and it's exactly what her wealthy clients do instinctively. By the end of their first session, Margaret had cleared 3 full garbage bags of items. But more importantly, she had discovered something profound. Her home wasn't just a place to store things. It was a place to nurture her soul.
Secret number 2. The next week, Elena returned with Margaret's daughter, Sarah, who was amazed by the transformation. "Mom, your living room feels so much more you," Sarah said, settling into the now uncluttered space. Elena laughed. "That's exactly the point. We're not just organizing, we're revealing who Margaret really is underneath all the accumulated stuff." This brought them to secret number 2. Wealthy homeowners curate their belongings like museum directors, keeping only what tells their story beautifully. Elena explained that her millionaire clients don't just have expensive things, they have meaningful things. Every item in their homes serves a purpose, tells a story, or brings genuine joy. There's no random clutter, no just-in-case items, no emotional baggage disguised as possessions. "Margaret," Elena said, "imagine you're the curator of a museum about your life. What would you want people to know about you based on what you choose to display?" This reframe was revolutionary for Margaret. Instead of feeling guilty about letting go of things, she began to feel excited about what would remain. She wasn't losing her memories, she was choosing to honor the most important ones. They started with Margaret's collection of family photos. Instead of keeping every blurry snapshot and duplicate, Margaret chose the images that truly captured the essence of her loved ones. The rest were digitized and donated to family members who might treasure them. Elena taught Margaret the one beautiful example rule. Instead of keeping every piece of her mother's china, Margaret kept one complete place setting displayed beautifully in her dining room cabinet. Instead of saving every school project her children made, she kept one special piece from each child for each grade. But here's where Elena's approach differed from typical organizing advice. She didn't just tell Margaret to keep less, she taught her to honor what remained. The items Margaret chose to keep weren't just stored, they were showcased, cared for, and integrated into her daily life. Margaret's favorite reading chair, which had been buried under laundry and magazines, became the centerpiece of her living room. Her grandmother's quilting scissors, which had been lost in a junk drawer, found a place of honor in her craft room. Her husband's favorite coffee mug, which she'd been afraid to use for fear of breaking it, returned to daily service. Elena called this living with intention, and it's exactly what separates wealthy homeowners from everyone else. They don't just own beautiful things, they interact with them, enjoy them, and let them enhance their daily experience. As Margaret looked around her newly curated home, she realized something profound. She felt wealthier than she had in years, not because she'd bought anything new, but because she'd chosen to live surrounded only by things that truly mattered to her.
Now, I want to pause here and speak directly to your heart. If you're watching this and feeling overwhelmed by the thought of decluttering, I want you to know that your feelings are completely valid. Margaret felt the same way initially. You might be thinking, but what if I need that someday? Or what if I regret getting rid of something? These are normal thoughts, and you're not alone in having them. Every woman Elena works with, whether they live in a mansion or a modest home, grapples with these same fears. Elena always reminds her clients that decluttering isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about creating space for what matters most to you right now, in this season of your life. And here's a beautiful truth. As you practice these skills, they become easier and more natural.
Margaret was scared to let go of things at first too, but with Elena's guidance, she learned to trust herself, to trust that she could make good decisions about her own belongings, and to trust that creating space would make room for more peace, not more emptiness. If Margaret's story is resonating with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me about one area of your home where you'd like to feel more peaceful. And if you're finding value in these secrets, please share this video with a friend who might benefit from Margaret's journey. Sometimes we all need a gentle reminder that our homes should nurture us, not overwhelm us.
Secret number 3. By the third week, Margaret was feeling so much lighter that she called Elena with excitement. "I actually enjoyed cooking dinner last night for the first time in months," she said. "My kitchen feels like mine again." Elena smiled over the phone. "That's wonderful, Margaret. You're ready for the final secret, the one that will ensure you never feel overwhelmed by clutter again." When Elena arrived for their last session, she carried a small, elegant box. "Margaret," she said, "this is secret number 3. Wealthy homeowners create systems that maintain themselves, not systems that require constant maintenance." Elena explained that her millionaire clients don't succeed because they're more disciplined than everyone else. They succeed because they create systems that make the right choices automatic and effortless. "The wealthy don't rely on willpower," Elena said. "They rely on wise design. They set up their homes so that staying organized is easier than getting disorganized." Elena showed Margaret how to create what she called maintenance-free zones, areas of the home that would stay organized without constant attention. The secret wasn't complicated systems, it was incredibly simple ones. In Margaret's entryway, Elena installed a simple tray for keys and mail, with a small basket underneath for items that needed to go upstairs. No complicated sorting system, no multiple bins, just 2 simple containers that made it easier to put things in their proper place than to leave them scattered. In the kitchen, Elena created a one-touch rule system. Every item had one specific home, and everything could be put away with a single motion. Spices went in one drawer, organized not by alphabetical order but by frequency of use. Cooking utensils lived in one container next to the stove, not scattered across multiple drawers. But here's the genius of Elena's approach. She didn't just organize Margaret's belongings. She taught Margaret to think like a wealthy homeowner about future purchases. Elena shared the wealthy woman's shopping question that her clients used before buying anything. Do I have a specific, designated home for this item, and will it enhance the feeling I want to create in that space? This simple question had prevented countless impulse purchases in multi-million-dollar homes. It worked just as powerfully in Margaret's modest house. Margaret realized she hadn't been overwhelmed by the things she already owned. She'd been overwhelmed by continuously bringing in new items without conscious intention. Elena taught Margaret one final principle, the graceful exit strategy. For every item that entered her home, Margaret would consciously choose what would leave, not as a punishment, but as a celebration of her evolving taste and changing needs. "Margaret," Elena said, "wealthy people understand that their homes are living spaces, not museums. They're not afraid to let go of things that no longer serve them because they trust their ability to make good choices about what they truly need."
3 months later, Margaret invited her family over for Sunday dinner. As her children and grandchildren filled her home with laughter, Margaret stood in her kitchen and marveled at how different everything felt. Her home wasn't just organized, it was alive. Every room breathed with intention and purpose. Her bedroom felt like a sanctuary where she could rest deeply. Her kitchen inspired her to cook nourishing meals. Her living room invited connection and conversation. But the most remarkable transformation wasn't in Margaret's home. It was in Margaret herself. She stood taller, moved with more confidence, and radiated a peace that everyone noticed. Her daughter, Sarah, pulled her aside. "Mom, you seem so much happier, so much more yourself." Margaret smiled, thinking of Elena's words. When you honor your belongings, you honor yourself. Margaret had learned that decluttering like a wealthy homeowner wasn't about having fewer things. It was about having better relationships with the things she chose to keep. She discovered that true luxury wasn't about expensive possessions. It was about the intentional curation of a life well lived. Elena's 3 secrets had given Margaret something money couldn't buy: the ability to create a sanctuary in her own home, the confidence to trust her own judgment, and the wisdom to live with intention rather than accumulation.
Now, you might be wondering how to apply these secrets in your own home. Let me give you a simple starting point that won't overwhelm you. First, choose one room, perhaps your bedroom or kitchen, and ask yourself Elena's question: how do I want to feel in this space? Write down 2 or 3 feeling words. These become your North Star for every decision in that room. Next, spend just 10 minutes walking through that room and identify 5 items that work against your desired feelings. Maybe it's the stack of bills on your nightstand that makes you feel stressed, or the broken appliance you've been meaning to fix that makes you feel behind. Remove those 5 items, donate them, fix them, or relocate them to a more appropriate space. You're not doing a major overhaul, you're simply removing obstacles to peace. Finally, choose one item in that room that supports your desired feeling and give it a place of honor. Maybe it's moving your favorite book to your nightstand or displaying a photo that makes you smile every morning. This process takes less than 30 minutes, but it starts rewiring your brain to think like Elena's wealthy clients. You're not just organizing, you're designing your space around your emotional well-being.
Margaret's story reminds us that we don't need million-dollar homes to live like wealthy homeowners. We just need to understand that our homes should serve us, not the other way around. Every time you walk into your home, you should feel welcomed, supported, and honored. Your space should reflect who you are and who you're becoming, not who you used to be or who you think you should be. Elena's 3 secrets work because they're not really about organizing. They're about recognizing that you deserve to live beautifully, intentionally, and peacefully, regardless of your budget or the size of your home. You have the power to create sanctuary in your own space. You have the wisdom to choose what serves you and release what doesn't. And you have the right to live surrounded only by things that bring you joy, peace, and purpose. Your home is more than a place to store your belongings. It's a place to nurture your soul. And that's not a luxury reserved for the wealthy. That's a birthright available to every woman who's ready to claim it. If Margaret's transformation has inspired you to create more peace in your own home, I'd love to support you on that journey. Please give this video a thumbs up if it brought you value, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of women who are choosing to live with intention. In the comments below, I'd love to hear which of Elena's 3 secrets resonated most with you. Are you ready to design your space around your emotions, curate your belongings with intention, or create systems that maintain themselves? And please, share this video with any woman in your life who might benefit from Margaret's story. Sometimes we all need a gentle reminder that we have the power to create the peaceful, beautiful homes we deserve. Remember, dear one, you are worthy of living in a space that honors who you are and supports who you're becoming. Your journey toward intentional living starts with a single step, and I'm here to walk alongside you every step of the way. Until next time, may your home be a sanctuary, your belongings bring you joy, and your heart find peace in the beautiful life you're creating, one conscious choice at a time.